Do you want to become a fashion stylist, a personal stylist, a virtual stylist, prop stylist? Do you just want to be a stylist and have no idea where to start? Well, I definitely recommend you ordering Becoming a Stylist, either the ebook or the physical copy of the book today, so that you can understand the secrets that are not told and understand exactly what goes into becoming a stylist before, during, and after. I know that a lot of stylists who really want to get started or just have a passion for it are just confused. I was when I first started out, didn't know where to go, didn't know who to talk to, and I hated feeling that way. I hated not knowing, who I could reach out to or where to get valuable information that would help me in my journey. And it wasn't until a lot of trial and error, a lot of time wasted. Well, I can't say wasted because I definitely learned along the way, but it took me so much. And once I actually tapped into it, I was able to achieve my goal working with Sony, Warner Brother, BET, Under Armour, even working with, Aveeno, Pizza Hut, major brands that have made my portfolio just grow. And now I'm at a point where I really want to just teach you guys the things that I did in order to help me get to that point. And also where I'm at now in regards to, virtual styling and teaching and coaching and showing you guys how to get started, how to set your brand foundation, personal brand, and how to get your clients to get paid. And so if you're more interested in really tapping into the tools to get started right now, then definitely check out Becoming a Stylist Bootcamp, where all those tools and information is provided to you, contracts, agreements, how to reach out and pitch the clients, and everything that you actually need throughout your journey is there. Like I said, this isn't an overnight success type of thing. It takes work, but it also takes you knowing the steps to take in order to hit your goals. And so Becoming a Stylist is definitely going to show you that, and it's going to be something that you can have forever. You're going to have to go back and reference things, and it's going to be a platform that you can use to always tap in, make sure that you're checking off the boxes and have your business set up the right way. I'm doing this because, like I said, it was so hard for me to really understand anything when I started out, and I hated that feeling, and I don't want anyone else to feel that way. So check out Becoming a Stylist ebook, or just check out Becoming a Stylist Bootcamp so that you can get started in your career today. Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Brianna Wise, and I'm a fashion stylist of 13 years. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to style men. Now, I think I'm definitely going to make this into a mini series, maybe 2 videos, 2 or 3, because you style the client, but then you got to know how to pitch the client. So maybe I'll make that into just an overall pitching video, but I wanted to talk about styling guys because I love styling guys. That's how I got started. They're so freaking easy. I won't say they're just simple, but they are. They're not very picky about certain things. How I hate to say it, but we are as women. Like, shoot, my daggone mom, like, there's always something, like maybe I don't want this to show, or maybe I look better in this, or very indecisive. We women can be sometimes, but men are just cool. Like, they be like, all right, I like this is cool, let me try this, okay, all right, bet, that's it. Like, it's not that hard. You still go about it the same way in regards to styling women, or just styling in general. These are the basics, the foundation of what this video is going to be about. Yes, I started styling professional athletes. It's because I was a professional athlete. I do want to say that. I mean, not pro like that. People thought I could go to the WNBA, but I didn't want to make that as a career. I played all the way up until college, and I did score 1,000 points in 2 years. I was really good, a shooter, a point guard, but I played for years, and so I had a lot of guy friends that were athletes. And so one in particular kept pushing me even in high school to like help him get styled. 2 of them really, but one in particular just kept pushing me, and eventually he did get drafted into the NBA, and he asked me could I style him. He had a budget, and we went from there, and that is how I got my first paid client as a stylist styling professional athletes. And so from there, I won't say that they were all friends. No, they weren't. It was some groundwork that went into it, and how to find, you know, the people to reach out to get in contact with the athletes, or just styling men in general. Like, this is going to be the foundation, like I said, and that's why I'm going to make a series on this, because you get the client, you style the client, but you got to know how to get them, like I said. So I'll definitely make this into a little series. So let's just dive in. Okay, the number one thing when it comes to styling men, or just styling, let's just say styling. Yes, this is about men because I started styling men, but the first thing you need to do is know who your client is. Like, you got to know who your client is, not just necessarily seeing them online or knowing them as a friend or knowing them as just someone you want to work with, but you need to understand them. You need to know why, you know, they want a stylist, and also their interests. So what do they like? What are their favorite colors? What is their size? What are the brands that they love? Who inspires them in style and fashion? Do they have maybe some photos in their phone that they've saved that they love this outfit, but they're not sure if that'll look good on them? Or do they have outfits in their phone that they really want to try but don't know where to get the looks from? So really understand your client. Not only that, but what is it that, you know, they are trying to accomplish in regards to styling professional athletes? I knew they want to get endorsement deals. They want to be seen outside of just sports, but they also want to be fly. Like, they just finally got a good check. Like, they just got the bag and they trying to look good. So how can they enhance their overall style? You know, I mean, now when they're going into no matter what league, NBA, NFL, NBL, they're all looking to look fly going to the game. So it's like a runway. So men in general are very, very much, you know, wanting to enhance their style as an influence just of watching professional athletes. And so you really want to understand who their you know, interests are, who inspires them through style, why they want, you know, a stylist, why they want to enhance their lives, what are the goals that they want to achieve in their styling, in their wardrobe, but also in their everyday life. Like, what are the goals that they want in career-wise, maybe even in relationships? Maybe they want to, I mean, like Hitch, like maybe they want to look good so they can attract their ideal, not their ideal, but so that they can track their love interest. Maybe you just really need to know the client. Everybody's different. Just like women, everybody has a different style. Everybody has a different, you know, goal. Everybody has a different intention. So you really need to understand your client. And so how I do this is through questionnaires and forms. And I really get down to the nitty-gritty of asking, you know, these questions, so that when I am sitting with the client going over these questions and having conversation, it allows us to have conversation in a way that flows, because we have things to talk about, and I can pull more out from those questions. You know, like when you are getting answers sometimes, okay, like guys, they're not about to give you a full paragraph on a piece of paper or on, you know, a form. So you really need to start asking questions in that regard, and photos help. And understanding these different brands that they like or inspirations help, because you can get an idea of what's going on in their head. So forms is the best way, and then actually sitting down and talking to the client and finding out what those goals are, and you taking and jotting down notes as well as you're going through the conversation. Okay, the next thing, now that you've had all that knowledge and you know what's going on, you know what they're looking for, you know their sizes, you know their colors, you know what they don't like, you know what they like, all those things, then you need to create a mood board, because you need to now get all the stuff in your head out so that you can show the client what you have processed in your head and they can see it. So mood boards are going to be the next step. And you're really going to want to create a mood board, because you're going to want to show them the ideas of what you have in store for them in their wardrobe, in their style. And you can break it down by so for example, you can break it down by events. You can break it down by everyday life. You can break it down by game day, for example, for professional athletes. So you can have different styled looks according to that for each part of the mood board. And it's really good because it'll help them understand what it is in the style that you're going for, but it'll also put you guys on the same playing field. Like, no matter what, you do not want to go shopping without having a mood board or something in front of you to have on hand. Like, you're going to waste your time if you're going out shopping or working and pulling clothes and doing fittings and you don't even know what you're going shopping for. You're going to waste time shopping, you're going to waste your clients' time, and it's just not good. So you really want to be well prepared before you even go to any stores, before you even, sometimes depending on the client, decide on what the budget is, because you really don't know the stores. Like, if they're wanting to shop at these high-end designer brand clothing stores, then you're not going to have a $500 budget for 4 looks. Like, you're just not going to do that. So knowing exactly all these things before you actually even go to the store is going to set all of you up for 100%. Like, y'all gonna be good. So definitely looking at the mood board together and, you know, making sure maybe it's something on there he's not really feeling, or maybe it's something on there that, you know, he really likes, and you make note of that before you go shopping so that you can make sure that you are on top of those things. Like, you don't want to come back with something that he specifically said he doesn't want or doesn't like. Now, I will say, as a stylist, you definitely want to stretch and you definitely want to pull some things so that you can try to, you know, feel it out on your clients, see if they like it here and there. But if it's something specific that they say they don't want, don't do it. Like, just don't do it. So sit down, go over the board together, make sure that you both agree on it, and then move forward with your shopping. And wait, I said move on with your shopping, but there is one more thing that you need to do before you go shopping, and that is get that money. You are not going to be shopping with your own money. Now, that is my way of running business. You do not shop with your own money. And I know a lot of aspiring stylists, they think that they have to shop with their own money, use their own credit cards. And I've seen celebrity stylists be in so much debt because they've done this and the client hasn't paid them. So I strongly recommend against using your own money. Only time you're going to use your own money is if you're creating your own portfolio and you're doing some type of test shoots, or you're really just trying to build out your portfolio. But you need to, now that you know what the mood is and what the goal is, how many looks, all those things, you're a stylist, so you know by doing some research how much that budget should actually be. And your budget and your service, so your service budget and the client's budget are separate. They are not the same. Now, I do know some stylists that will put them together, but I don't like to do this because sometimes you can go shopping and you overspend and you're coming home with less. So separate. And I have that in my contracts. I do have on Becoming a Stylist Bootcamp, there are contracts that you can use, agreements rather, that you can use to give your client, that will list out what the service cost is, that will list out what the budget would be, and you split them, whether you get paid up front half, the rest at the end. All of that is inside Becoming a Stylist Bootcamp. But I do want to say that you make sure you have something in writing. Never just go shopping, never just start working and just do it off rip. Like, you just need to protect yourself. This is a business. Like, this is not a hobby. This is something that you're taking seriously. You have to keep track of it for tax purposes and all those things anyway. So you need to make sure that you are keeping track of your books and you're keeping track of, you know, all of these things that are needed before you go shopping. So now we can talk about the shopping. All right, so depending on the type of job that you're doing, whether it be maybe a photo shoot or maybe you're doing personal styling, that really depends on how you are going to pull and shop. So for example, if I am doing a photo shoot for a professional athlete and I know that it's just for that purpose, and they don't necessarily want to keep the clothes, then I'm gonna go to a showroom. I'm gonna go somewhere where I know I can get the clothes and I can return them and I won't feel crazy about it. Or I'll do a studio service where I'll pull the clothes and then return them for a small percentage of what it would be to put it back on the shelf. So if I'm doing that, that's one way. But if I'm doing personal shopping and I'm really just shopping for the client, and I'm just gonna go to those stores and I'm gonna go start shopping. And now, when you have great relationships with some of the stores, they will allow you to put the card down, whatever the card is that your client has on file, pull the clothes, do the fitting with them in their home, and then return whatever it is they don't want, and then charge you after you've returned the things that they don't want. Now that's once you've created a relationship with the brand and all those things. However, if you have not, then it is okay to go and do the shopping with your clients, or just purchase the clothes and bring them back and do the fitting. Because I know that a lot of times when you're starting out, you're not necessarily in a position where you can just pull the clothes like that. So definitely make sure that you have spoken to your client and you let them know that, and that is why it's a part of the budget. Now, one thing I'm real good at is making sure that I have a budget and I'm on top of that budget, and sometimes even saving them a little bit of money, or maybe being able to get them something else that they didn't think of because I was on top of the budget and I didn't go over. So make sure that you're also doing that when it comes to pulling and shopping. All right, the next thing, you've gotten the clothes, you've pulled, you've shopped, whatever you did, you got the clothes, and now you are with your client and you are doing a fitting. Fittings are key. You need to make sure that maybe your client, for example, professional athletes, definitely have different body types, definitely need sometimes the arms extended, the legs extended, the shoulders, things like that, because they have broader shoulders, they have longer limbs, they're just bigger. So they definitely need custom tailoring a lot of times. And so you need to do a fitting, and normally I will take pins, or I have a client that I work with who owns rather has a bunch of different men's warehouses. I could literally send him a picture, tell him the measurements of the client. Once I've gotten that, send it to him, and he will get me a suit without me even having to do anything else, and know, okay, this is what needs to be done to the suit, and it's perfect. It's like, that is heaven. No back and forth anything. So you definitely want to have a tailor or seamstress, or someone that you know that can definitely tailor the clothes if you are not able to do that yourself. So the fitting is important so that you can see exactly what needs to be fixed, tailored to your client's body type, especially if it's something that they're keeping in their wardrobe. Now, if it's for a shoot, a photo shoot, there are different things you can do in order to, get around certain things. So maybe pins, or maybe, a larger size that you get and you pin it, or things like that. So fittings are key because you need to see what works and what doesn't work. Now, after you've done the fitting and you've realized the things that need to be tailored or things that need to be returned, definitely make sure you do this, because the next thing is going to be closing the job. Now, when it comes to closing the job, you need to make sure that while you were doing the fitting, you were keeping track of those things that were to be returned and the things that are being kept, because you need to make sure that you're on top of how much was spent. Well, you needed to be on top of that regardless, but closing out the job, you definitely want to make sure that you have all your receipts. You want to make sure that you have copies of everything so that your client has them and you have them as well. So business things, y'all need that, printers, whatever it may be, you need to make sure that you have a copy, your client has a copy, and everything is smooth sailing. And in regards to the contract, maybe you've had, some half of the service fee up front and the rest at the end. Make sure that you've gathered that. And closing is really not that hard, guys, because once you have your receipts, once you know exactly what has been kept, what has been returned, and you've kept track of that, it's really not that hard to do. The client has their clothes, they're happy, and you just got to make sure that they know exactly how much was spent. They have receipts in hand, and you're good to go. A little thing that I do love to do when it comes to, closing a job is giving my client just a little something extra. Like maybe I gave them a Nike gift card, or maybe I gave them a bottle of champagne, or just something nice, letting them know that I definitely appreciate working with them. I appreciate them. And if they have any other people that they want to refer me to, they can do that. Or, if they have anything else coming up, they can do that as well. Maybe it's a retainer client. Maybe you don't need to do that. But I always like to give some type of little thank you in order to let them know that I genuinely appreciate them as my client. It goes a long way. It really, really does. Styling is all about relationships. And so you have to keep that in mind. Like, it's not just, this is it, this is my job, you know, like it still has to be some type of relationship there. Like you're not just friends out here all the time, but you need to make sure you're on top of your business, but it's still another person that you're working with. Service businesses is all about relationships. So I hope this video really helped you guys when it comes to understanding and learning just the process and the foundation of starting a job from start to finish. When it comes to understanding your client, when it comes to shopping, or when it comes to, you know, organizing things before you even go shopping, to shopping, fittings, and closing the job, because these are the essential foundations that you need when it comes to, you know, styling in general. Like I know people think it's a lot different or overthink things, but really it's the same simple steps. Once you know them, once you do them over and over, it's easy and it's simple. In my book, Becoming a Stylist, I talk about actually how I got started working with professional athletes, the journey of that, and also all the different types of jobs that you can get as a stylist. So there's not just styling professional athletes, there's not just styling celebrities, there's not just personal styling. There are so many different types of jobs available to you as a creative, a creative director, a stylist, that you can actually have and generate some extra income or create it as your career. And so I really hope that you guys find some value in this channel. If you do, please let me know. I see your comments. I thank you so much for your feedback. It really makes me feel so good to just see that you guys are liking the content and that it's actually helpful, because that's the most important thing. And so I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.